This is easily one of the most recognisable racing games I think probably ever made, because I think everyone and their mother had this game. This is Wipeout for the Sega Saturn, and to be honest, this is one of the best games I think I've ever played, or originally ever played anyway, because Wipeout was one of the first games I ever owned for my Sega Saturn, and well, back in the day it was one of the first games, and I remember everyone had it on PlayStation, so you're sitting in the playground like, PlayStation 1's better, no, the Sega... well, actually, no, I was probably one of the only people who had a Sega Saturn, because I didn't get a PlayStation till very much later on, when the Saturn, I guess you could say, failed, and I was just the one person who had one. They were dark times. But alas, this is Wipeout for the Sega Saturn, and it's a pretty solid game. If you've ever played Wipeout, then you pretty much know what that's essentially it. If you've never played it, I don't know where you've been hiding, especially, you must have been hiding under a rock, because I think everyone's played this game, or everyone has at least owned it at some point in their life. But the Sega Saturn version is quite good. I do like it. So, at some points I do have, there's a little bit of texture pop in, but that doesn't really bother me, because Daytona USA is a great game and that has texture pop in, and that doesn't really faze me at all. But yeah, there is a little bit of, you know, the graphic pop in. I did have a little trouble when I was driving extremely quick. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but I did. The brake mechanic is a little bit dodgy. It doesn't always work, so I do end up smashing into walls a lot through this playthrough. Other than that, it's quite solid. The graphics are quite nice, although obviously looking back you know that the PlayStation had the advantage on that, but I still have got a lot of enjoyment out of playing this game, considering I had a Saturn. So I guess I kind of had to. I think it was formally required for me to. But either way, I still enjoyed it, and I still enjoy it now. I still think it's a great game on the Saturn, and it's quite an easy pickup to get for it as well. It's not exactly expensive to pick up. I actually have 2 copies of Wipeout, because I bought a bundle of Sega Saturn games, several which I didn't have, and it was just this one which was the only double I technically got. All in all, it's a nice little one to add to your collection, especially if you like racing games. And again, like I said, everyone and their mothers has played this game. So I'd highly recommend that you do pick up a copy of Wipeout. It's definitely worth it, especially for the Sega Saturn, especially if you want something to play, or you know, just to have a fill-in game to an extent. But definitely worth picking up, and it's definitely within the price range. I got, well, I was going to say I got it for a certain price, but I bought, I think I bought, like, I think it was more or less £1 a game. I got about 20 games for £20 on eBay in a bundle. So I guess you could say it was about £1, but I have done some research, just looking on my phone and whatnot at eBay and how much these things cost. They, it roughly retails for around £4.99, probably a little bit less than that. It depends on really what you need or what you're looking for. But definitely pick up a copy. It's definitely worth it, and it's definitely within the price range of most people. So I highly recommend that you pick up a copy of Wipeout. I would like to make a shout out to an unnamed fan who decided to tell me, and trigger me, may I add, that Sonic is a failed Mario. How dare they say such blasphemy? Oh, I got so triggered. I know this has nothing to do with Wipeout, but by God.
What could possibly go wrong?